What's up, motivators? Welcome back. It's Kevin. This is Pure Bullfit, and welcome to the one and only Natty or Not video I'm probably ever gonna do. But before we get to that, we still have two goals. I'd like to put out 100 videos this year, and on top of that, as soon as we reach 100,000 subscribers, I'm going to be giving two people in the community an entire year worth of free coaching, one-on-one. So I'm going to pick one person at random and one person based off of their story just as soon as we hit 100,000 subscribers. So if you'd like to see that happen, go ahead, hit subscribe down below. Most of the folks who watch aren't actually subscribed. All right, with that said, let's come in hot. Let's not mess around at all. First on the list, Natty or Not, Jeff Cavalier. Where is it that you think you are? What channel is it you think that you're watching? All right, because I teased you before the end of this video, I will give you my unfiltered opinion on Jeff Cavalier's Natty or Not status. But that's not really the kind of content that I plan to make. That's not something that I'm interested in. It's not even content that I personally enjoy. I kind of view it personally as like The Bachelorette, The Desperate Housewives, the Jersey Shore of fitness content. It's a guilty pleasure. People like watching it. And at the end of the day, if I'm telling you who I think is using what, it's just my opinion, which most of these videos are at this point. I started watching Natty or Not videos way back when Fillion was doing it. As far as I'm concerned, he's the original OG. Yes, Greg Doucette made it very famous, but there's a number of people who make these videos. What Zach Tellender and Derek from More Plates, More Dates did was important. Most of us knew there was no way in hell that the Liver King was natural, but there was enough people out there that it warranted the discussion and the proof that they were able to provide to say, hey, maybe eating bull's testicles isn't going to make you jacked and primal. Maybe it's all a grift. So yeah, the conversation can still be important, but where you just have a professional bodybuilder or an exercise scientist sitting down saying, I think this guy's not natty and this is what I think he's using, at the end of the day, that's just their opinion. And I don't find that particularly useful. If it's what you like to watch, watch it. If it's what you like to make it. It's just not for me and not the kind of stuff that we're gonna do around here. So if this is not a Natty or Not video about everybody else, what the heck is this video about? Because it's still a Natty or Not video. It's just my Natty or Not video. Yeah, guys, I always told you that I would be transparent with you if I ever decided to pursue hormone therapy in any fashion whatsoever. And we've made that decision. And I say we because it's my wife and I who've made this decision. You see, she'd like to try to have a child, but I'm 45. I'm not just 45. In 2020, I experienced a very severe groin injury that dropped my testosterone from normal levels down to 176 NGL. A lot of problems came with that. Increased depression, I had unaliving ideations. We struggled through a lot of things while we figured out what the problem was, because the problem down there went unaddressed for almost a year because of the pandemic. When we finally figured out what was going on, got it repaired, I worked very hard over the next 3 years to get my levels up into the normal healthy range, which was just in the low 300s. Through sleep, through consistent exercise, and through nutrition, I've managed to do that. I've even tried some over-the-counter stuff from some very famous YouTubers to just stuff that you could get at your local grocery store. And none of that worked to any appreciable degree. So with a low sperm count, later in my years, my wife really wanting this, I really wanting this as well, we've decided to consult our doctor. And our doctor came back with a basic fertility drug that has been around for decades called clomiphene citrate. Its brand name, the one I have been prescribed, is Clomid, 25 milligrams a day, in the hopes that it will help my sperm count and possibly, to some extent, my testosterone levels. Not too worried about the second half. I've been in a good place with that. Here's the thing, though. It's going to cost me, and I'm not talking about money. It is such a huge risk for me to try this avenue because we do not know if it's going to work. You see, it's not just underactive gonads that's the problem. There was damage there. There was a lack of circulation that went on for months and caused intense daily pain for a long time. I don't even know if this is going to work. But because I'm choosing to be open about it, I'm not hiding it as so many other people would, this is going to preclude me from being able to compete in my powerlifting organization of choice, the USAPL, for at least 3 years after I cease taking the medicine. That's a scary thought, because it's important enough to me and my wife to go ahead and try this. But what if it doesn't work? It takes 2 to 3 months for you to even see an effect to see if it's going to work. So I might spend 2 to 6 months just seeing if it's going to work. Then we're going to try and have a baby. Then I would stop taking the Clomid, and then I would have to start waiting for 3 years before I could compete again. that means it might be like 5 years before I can step on the platform in the USAPL again. Because, through no fault of their own, they have made a stance that anything that could be considered or have a performance-enhancing effect, even though from everything that I'm reading, Clomid is really mild, especially at the low dose of 25 milligrams, that bars you from being able to compete. It's the only fair thing that they can think to do, and while other people are making other choices as far as what they're doing behind the scenes and what they're being open with, all I've got is my word, guys. Like, you might disagree with what I have to say on my channel, you might disagree with how I go about saying it, but you at least know that I believe that it's true and that I'm speaking my mind. I don't have the best physique out there. I don't have the highest level of degrees. I don't have the best understanding of the literature, but I try to do my best to take what I do know, what I have built, what I have experienced, what I have seen from my clients, and give you the best information that I possibly can. I give you my best. And part of giving you my best is giving you transparency and keeping my word. But we'll see if it works. I am very, very, very worried that it's not going to. But as I've always said on this topic, if I ever decided to use any sort of hormone therapy at all, I would tell you guys, I'd tell you what I'm taking and why, and we've done that. As a testament to how unimportant Natty or Not videos actually are to me, I almost completely forgot to give you my unfiltered thoughts on Jeff Cavalier's Natty or Not status that I promised at the beginning of the video for kind of like teasing you guys a little bit. So here it is. I choose to believe Jeff Cavalier when he says that he is natty. But as a reasonable thinking person who's taken a look at the body of work that he has managed to accomplish and maintain at nearly 48 years of age, 49, pushing 50, and he continues to keep that level of leanness and all of that muscle, I have a reasonable doubt. Like, I don't have any information from any of our mutuals or the man himself or anything that I have seen or heard that would make me doubt his word, other than the enormity of what he has accomplished. And I look at that and go, that would be incredibly freaking hard. So if it ever came out that he had been on the sauce the entire time, I'd be extremely disappointed, but I wouldn't be surprised. And I'd stop watching Jeff altogether. But I wouldn't stop watching somebody like Dr. Mike Israetel. Why is that? Why do I feel differently about it? Because on the one hand, Dr. Mike Israetel has always been extremely open about the fact that he has used, that he competes in a sport where it's necessary to get to the top. He doesn't advise it for folks. And on the other hand, Jeff Cavalier has said, don't use this stuff. I have never used this stuff. I believe he put $1 million on the line one time if somebody wanted to test him. I think whoever called him out backed down on that challenge. But that was years ago, and I'm having trouble remembering all of the drama specifically. At the end of the day, the man has stated emphatically that he has never, would never, and doesn't think anybody else should use secret supplements in order to get the level of success with his body that he has achieved. If you base your methodology, your approach, your belief system on that, and you state it with conviction and with vigor, and then it turns out that you weren't being honest, that is a betrayal of the trust of your community, and I would no longer believe in that person. That's what it would take. So those are my unfiltered thoughts on Jeff Cavalier's natty status. And that thought process, it plays a big part in why I insist on being so open and transparent with you guys about what it is that I'm doing. More than anything else, no matter how much you disagree with me or have a different opinion, I want you to at least know that I'm coming from an honest and transparent place, because we can work with that. That's enough common ground that we can work out any of our other problems. All right, back to it. So with all that said, that begs the question, what does that make me? Obviously, I'm not natty anymore. I gave up my natty card. But I'm not exactly saucy, and I'm certainly not on so many chemicals I'd qualify for the Super Soldier program. So what would you guys call that? Give me your ideas in the comment section below. I would love to hear them. And if they are particularly amusing, I will use them moving forward. All right, guys, that's it. That's the video for today. If you liked it, they got a button for that. If you didn't like it, they got a button for that too. Either way, let me know about it in the comment section below. And while you're down there, if you happen to be looking for some complimentary programs, some free advice on how to approach nutrition, go to the gym for the first time, get back to the gym after a long while, I have the PBF starter program absolutely 100% free. No strings attached whatsoever to you. There's no sign-up list. There's no email or any of the rest of it. Just a 40-page Google document that I've put together for you to help you out. If you like it, share it with your friends, share it with your family, contribute to the overall increase in health, longevity, and quality of life for society at large. If you can, this is my small way of doing that and is my thank you for being here. So until I see you again in the next video, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and find a little bit of time to go fit yourself.